Hello everyone, this is Jenny with your weekly energy forecast for the week starting April 27th and running through May 3rd. If you are new to my channel, I am a practicing shaman and I do energy readings and help people get in touch with their animal spirit guides. Can you believe that May is here already? I find it amazing how fast this year is flying by. But I guess I have felt that way for a while now. It has to do with this new spiritual period that we are about to enter that I have talked about in some of my previous videos. And the energy at the moment does feel very heavy to me. I do pick up on this wonderful young energy of spring, that everything is starting again. And if you are able to go for walks in nature, it can really lift your spirits. Just the colors alone, or seeing the animals hard at work. Here in New York, we see a lot of little chipmunks or squirrels rummaging around on the ground. And that can give you a bit of a kick spiritually, that you see everything is starting again. And despite everything, we have a new spring coming, and after that, a new summer. But I am also picking up on a lot of things that are being released at the moment. And that can make the energy a little, the best word I can find to describe it is a little muddy. Or it can feel a little like you are swimming in sand. It has to do with what I talked about last week, where I shared this dream with you, where Kutumi came to me and told me that it was time to do a little house cleaning when it came to our relationships. We had to be aware of what friends were genuine and what people in our lives were really talking to us from a loving place. We also had to be aware as a collective of these, I refer to them as fake or false light workers that might pretend to do positive energy work for everyone, but really they are coming from a place of ego. So a lot of things are being released at the moment. Some people are doing this through their meditation work. They are aware of this push that is happening at the moment. It is coming from our spirit guides. Whoever you're working with, they are pushing you to do this work at the moment. And some of us are aware of that, and others are not. And for those people, they might be in a period where they are arguing a lot with their loved ones. One argument follows the next. They might have fallouts with friends that they don't really understand. And they react to that with frustration. And all of that can be felt as a big mix of different energetic impulses in the collective. And that is what I am picking up on at the moment. But in that mix, we also have this wonderful, strong positiveness of spring. So as always, I have picked a card from my favorite tarot deck called the Herbal Tarot by Michael Chiara to start off this energy reading. And the card that came up this week was the Queen of Swords. And this is very funny because yesterday I was wondering why so few court cards had come up in my readings so far this year. I haven't seen them a lot. And then what do you know, today when I did the reading for the coming week, we do have a court card, and this is the Queen of Swords. So we are in the same suit this week again. We are in the suit that deals with our thoughts and our ideas. And if you look at this image, you can see that this queen has cut through the chains of limited thinking and ideas. If you look closely at her, you can see that there is a cut chain around her wrist, and that symbolizes these limited thought patterns that she has broken. You can see that she stands on her own, ready to look ahead with clear vision. In this deck, she is dressed in purple, and that purple garment can illustrate her openness to receiving inspiration. Her sash is red, and that is the color of passion, so that can symbolize her willingness to manifest this new inspiration. You can see that she looks very strong, just her whole posture indicates strength. The way she's holding the sword, it's like she's saying, just come on, I am ready to face whatever comes my way. So her feet are bare also, if you can see that. And that means that she has them firmly planted on the earth. So she is connected to nature. It also illustrates that she has found balance in life. That can also give her the power to help others see themselves in a more balanced light. It can give her ideas as to how she can help others. So this is a very strong feminine energy we're dealing with here. It has to do with our thoughts, and it's an energy that can help us manifest any new inspiration or any new ideas that we have. But this strength that this queen illustrates can also make her arrogant. She mustn't use this new insight she has found to be vengeful or to be critical of others. She mustn't use it either to put herself on a pedestal, to tell others, I know better than you. So we are dealing with an energy here that is tied into that dream I shared with you last week. Some of you have done some really wonderful energy work where you have released ties to the past. Maybe there are friends where you have seen their true colors and decided, no, I don't need that in my life anymore. Maybe you have come to a realization that the job you have had for a while is not the right one for you. You have done some wonderful meditation work, and through that work you have cut cords to the past, and you are now ready, like her, to walk forward and face whatever comes your way. It can also illustrate a process that you are in. So maybe this has not happened yet. You're still doing this very important work. But when it comes up, when I tune into the collective energy, it is also tied into that dream I shared with you. There are people out there who walk like the queen you see in this card, but they walk with arrogance. They come from a place of ego. They use this insight that they think they have acquired to ridicule others. That's a strong word, but maybe to belittle others and tell them that they ought to live their life differently. So that means we still need to be aware of people like that. We need to be aware of so-called spiritual work that doesn't come from a place of love. But she also tells you that you have done important work, that you are headed down the right track now. The work you have done so far has helped. As I said before, you might still be in this process, but something has lifted. You have realized something intellectually. So remember, this is your thoughts again. So there is something you have been thinking lately that is correct, and that is an answer to a question you might have been struggling with for a while. I always show you the card from the traditional Rider-Waite deck also. And here you can see the Queen of Swords sitting proud on her throne. Again, you can see the chains that have been cut, that she has cut with this sword. And they represent these thoughts, processes connected to her past that she has now cut. And she's ready to face whoever walks up to her and wants to challenge her. But again, this energy has to be used in a loving way. It cannot be used to put ourselves on a pedestal and to turn our so-called light work into something that is ego-based. So because the energy is so strong this week, the crystal I have been guided to work with is one of my agates. Whenever the energy is a little hard, it's basically always the agates that my guides talk to me about. And this is one of my favorites. This is a Botswana agate. It's also called an apricot agate. It's one of these beautiful banded agates that you can see here. I hope you can see the colorings. I have quite a few of these because they are wonderful stones. They can help you deal with everything, and I mean everything, from a positive perspective. They can bring positive energy to any situation. So if I need to have difficult conversations with someone, I always have one of these agates in my pocket. They can also really lift your own spirits. They can bring all of that positive energy to you also, and give you the same kind of kick that you can get from the green leaves outside. For me personally, this stone also helps me connect to earth. So it can help me find this balance that the Queen illustrates in this card. And for me, this stone also promotes laughter. As soon as I have held it for just a little while, I feel lighter, I feel ready to laugh, I feel ready to dance. And it's just a really marvelous stone for bringing a little joy into your heart. So this is the Botswana agate this week. Beautiful stone. I actually had to search for it for a while because I don't know if you remember from one of my previous videos, I told you about the little kitten that we have adopted. And she has gotten into my stone collection somehow. I have my crystals in various bowls that are kind of scattered all over the apartment. But the largest one is on my desk. And I tried to keep her away from my desk for that reason. But as kittens do, she found her way up there anyway. And I believe she was attracted to this particular agate for the same reasons. She is in the playful period of her life. And this is a stone that just makes you feel lighthearted. So her own playful little heart was attracted to that stone. And I finally found it under our couch. So my stone collection is complete again now. So let's see what message our spirit guides have for us this week. I will be using the deck called Sacred Traveler by Denise Linn. So let's see what comes up. First perspective. It takes a little longer this week, and that is because the energy is a little muddy. As I told you before, a lot of things are being released, so then it can take a little longer and a little more concentration to do a reading like this one. So, second perspective. Here we have the third one. So the first perspective that we have for this week, the first card that came up, is called Journey by Moonlight. And then underneath it, if you can see, it says Believe in Magic. And this card comes up when the spiritual veil is thin. So when it is very easy to establish a strong connection between yourself and your spirit guides. Spiritual dimensions and the mystical realms are only a thought away this week. So you can connect with fairies, angels, spirit beings, whatever your spirit guides are. So it also comes up when you need to be reminded that you can trust in your spiritual supports, that it is really only a thought away. You don't need to set aside a lot of time for meditation. It can be like a snap of the fingers. And this week you can really connect. Maybe you can also establish contact with some new spirit guides. Maybe you will gain a new totem animal this week. So when we combine with this card, this perspective, Journey by Moonlight, can help you take the next steps down this path that you are now walking after you have cut your chains. The moon is also a very powerful feminine energy. So Journey by Moonlight means again, follow your intuition, continue this wonderful spiritual work of figuring out what serves you and what doesn't. The next card that we have here, our next perspective, that is called Ascending the Mountain, and underneath it it says keep going forward, comes up when you need to know that you are on the right track, that you have already come far, but the journey is not over. There's still work to be done. And the work that we still need to do can feel like this mountain that we have to ascend. So the road forward might not be easy, but it is a road that you are ready for. You have cut the chains and you need to continue going forward. Ascending the mountain also means that we need to reach this summit. We need to reach this point where we have the clear overview of everything. So again, this is tied into Kutumi's message from last week. We need to see things clearly. We need to get to the point where the fog has lifted and all is clear, where we can see people for who they are, where we can see the messages that we get for what they are also. So we are still traveling. The journey is not over, but we have done a lot of work. We are ready to go forward with bare feet, so with a strong connection to earth and the path that we are on. And we are also ready to go forward with strength. We just cannot do it with arrogance. It still needs to come from a place of love. The next card is another travel card. You can see here we have, I think it's an old Viking boat. This card is called Fogged In. And underneath it says, go slow, take time. So this card comes up when you cannot force this journey. This work that you have to do with the cutting of the cords and with the finding of the place from which you can see things clearly is not a journey that you can force. You cannot tell yourself either, bum, now I'm done, everything is over, I can see now, I don't have to do anymore. The journey is not over and you need to continue. If you feel overwhelmed, then take a step back and do things slower. If there's a friend where you think, I don't really think she's my friend anyway, I think there's something about her that might not be genuine, then don't force it. Just tell yourself, okay, I have realized this about that person. You do not need to go write her an angry email, or you do not need to delete her from social media or anything drastic like that. Just take it slow. Realize things, but don't force them. We can be strong and slow at the same time. This is a question my clients sometimes ask me. How can you have a card of strength like that and then still do things in a slow way? If you are strong and ready to go, why not just do it? Why not just charge ahead? But that's not what you're being asked to do. You're being asked to think, to meditate. You're being asked very clearly here to connect with your spirit guides. You're being asked to keep on traveling, to search for this place where you can see everything clearly. But you're also being asked to be slow about it. So this is not a warrior energy that we're dealing with. We're not charging into war with our sword raised here. We're not charging on ready to go into battle. We have our sword raised and we're able to face every challenge that lies ahead. But we have to do it wisely. We have to take the time it takes, as simple as that. I will also pull one card from my Higher Intuitions Oracle cards and see what animal comes up for us this week. Oh my, we have the 2 pink flamingos. And the message of this card couldn't fit any better. It's about standing up for yourself, as it says underneath. The color of the flamingo, the pink color, is also the color of the heart chakra. So the flamingo tells you that in matters of the heart, you are much stronger than you think you are. The legs of the flamingo might be wiry, but they are strong. And the flamingo has them firmly planted again here on the ground, as you can see. They also stand by moonlight. So we have this strong feminine energy through this entire reading that keeps coming up. So the flamingo teaches us about the power of the heart. So it's the message again that we need to come from a place of love. You can see these 2 birds are also facing each other. So it's about the overall collective energy, about turning that into an energy of love that can support us all. What the flamingo can teach you about your shadow side is that you might think that you are fragile. You might have been hurt in the past. You might think that your heart has lost its strength, that you do not have the energy to love again. So the flamingo also comes up when you need to be told that the pink color of the heart is still very vibrant. So all in all, we have a very powerful feminine energy this week that encourages you to look inside your hearts, to take your time with the decisions that you have to make, but at the same time, you're being told that you are strong, that you have more strength than you think you do. The full moon also symbolizes completion and manifestation. So that fits into this Queen card again too, that some of you have done the work. You have cut cords to the past. You have cleared your heart of some of this negative energy that needs to go. So it's a muddled up energy we're dealing with at the moment in the collective, but it is also an energy that supports our spiritual development. Remember, this was our first perspective. So the veil is thin. You can connect with your spirit guides easily this week. So take the opportunity to do that. Finally, I need to tell you a little bit about the herb that is depicted in this card. And that is Lady's Slipper. This is an orchid, a very beautiful flower and also an herb that creates within us a deeper connection to the earth. It can help us manifest what we are working towards spiritually, and it can also help us calm our thoughts. The medicinal use of Lady's Slipper has been as a nerve medicine because it has this calming effect. I'm speaking in the past tense because this herb, because of its strength, is unfortunately now endangered. So you can buy Lady's Slipper as essential oil or herbal essence, but I never encourage buying or using products from something in nature that is endangered. But that doesn't mean that you can't harness the energy of this herb anyway. You do not need to have actual essence of all of the herbs or plants that I talk about. You can also harness their energy through images. So you could find some wonderful photos of Lady's Slipper, for instance, and work with them this week. I create a lot of meditation cards myself that I work with in my shamanic energy work, and I thought I would show you a few of them. So that's what these cards are. This is the Southern Cross. It is very important in Peruvian shamanism, and that was one of the first type of shamanism that I studied. Lately, I have also, in my meditations, I have also had a strong connection with a horse spirit. So these are some of my latest meditation cards that I have created. I am suspecting that I might have a new totem animal that is with me every day, and that is a horse spirit. So these are a couple of my newer ones. This is a very old meditation card of mine. This is Archangel Michael. I carry this image around with me in my pocket or in my purse, or sometimes I will have it out on my desk also. This is one of the first meditation cards that I made. So you don't have to laminate them or cut them out like I do here. This is because I work with them in my meditation work on a daily basis. It also makes it easier to kind of put them up on the wall if you want to do that. But of course you don't have to do all of that work if you don't feel like it. You can also look at images of these animals or flowers on your computer and meditate that way. That's also fine. But I wanted to share that with you, that is a way to harness the energy of a particular plant or herb also. So do that this week with Lady's Slipper. It's a beautiful orchid. Maybe this card gives you a bit of an idea. So the energy this coming week might feel very heavy for you. This past week I felt very tired myself. I could feel that I needed a lot more sleep. So remember this card that talks about taking your time and going slow. Maybe this week that is coming is another one where you need to rest more, where you need to listen to your body, and maybe you simply need more sleep. So that was the reading for this week. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will talk to you again soon. Bye!